with MakingStarWars.net.
Hello, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and today I'm joined by Sketchcraft. What do you got? You got some Orange Julius? You ghost?
Matthew Old Man Julius! Old Man Orange Julius used to make the finest slushy / orange slurry dang drink in the mall. I love it.
And where you at, Chris? Just your house?
Yeah,
Not at the mall or anything?
Yeah.
Looks like he's in
I'm really happy
detention
that
every
Rob doesn't
time
give
he
me a hard
shits.
time about these doors behind me, because at the start when I first started coming on, he always used to give me shit about it, but he's mellowed out a bit.
I won't tell you when those two little glowing eyes reappear behind you in that glass. So I won't mention that. You'll feel it though. You'll feel it.
Yeah, and like Santa says, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, just gently touch the bell so you know when we do live shows. And like as Dell says, you don't have to smash it or anything crazy. Just hit it once.
Tickle it.
Yeah, and let it play. Let the video play until the end. If you're just hanging out doing nothing, that's cool too, right? Right, Rob?
Let it go all the way. Let it go all the way.
Yeah.
You know, they appreciate that. The algorithm appreciates that.
And today we're going to be talking about what?
Get all your devices to play the show too,
all at the same time,
all the way to the end. Yeah,
turn the sound all the way up to 10 to 11.
Right? Yeah, I get your what was? Oh fuck, I forgot that one though. The Zoom, right? Get your Zoom going. Right?
A Zune. Yeah, Zune. A Microsoft Zune. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Get your Zune going. Right, Santa? Remember that Zune you gave me that Christmas? Fucking useless toy. Thank you for nothing.
Yeah, Santa, what's up, dude?
But, I don't know if I was good or bad that year.
No,
I don't know. Something. It's a Zune. All right.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoilers from that. We got that Christopher Lloyd Mando story from Friday.
I can't wait.
Share your thoughts. Yeah, and we got was it the Michael Stackpole and Rogue One little
He's got
tidbit.
A big Stackpole. I like him. What? I've been making that joke since 1994. You know, well, usually in a Beavis and Butthead voice, but you know.
Pretty recently, I looked into Rogue Squadron just to see if there was anything going on. I asked some Pinewood sources and stuff. Anything there? Any news about when it's going to be filming? And it didn't look good. There was nothing to report, you know. And so it doesn't mean I know everything. It doesn't mean it's not happening. But there was no news. There was news about other things and not that. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound good. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And then this story came out a couple of days. I don't know. Was it Friday? I can't remember when the story came out now. But it was basically saying that somebody went to a con and Michael Stackpole was there. And he says that he was contacted by Patty Jenkins early on and that they just talked. And it's kind of being touted right now as, that's good news. It means it's happening. And it means Michael Stackpole is the co-writer or something. Like it really kind of like people are really getting crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it sounds like
he's gonna film in a real X-wing. They're gonna put him up in space, you know.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise and Zero Gravity.
Yeah,
but but it sounds like it was literally like, oh, Jenkins gets the job, and she's like, oh, it'd be nice to talk to Michael Stackpole. Stackpole's like, give me a call. They call, and I think probably was just like, hey, what do you think works? What do you think are the key components that really makes it work for fans? What do you think these stories need, you know? And then they probably just had a nice they probably just had a nice conversation about what makes that stuff click in his opinion. And Patty Jenkins probably walked away from it with, you know, okay, I know what he thinks and here's what I think, but I don't know if it really amounts to anything of significance. At least I don't think so.
We all agree that it's not coming out next year? Because it's definitely not coming out next year.
I mean, the only way, I was wondering, like, where's everybody today? And Dale says that the notification's late. I scheduled it early even, so whatever, youtube.com. But anyways,
It's not hitting that.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I unless so much of the movie was done with visual effects, and it really is all in a cockpit. But something tells me those comic books weren't all in Star Wars cockpits. There was important parts, battles, space battles. They fly X-wings.
It's a lot of
But
Dennis Lawson sitting in a room. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's going to be like going to space stations and space
There was.
bars.
There was a lot of Dennis Lawson, just little tiny boots on the ground is what they call it. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call him a lawman.
Look, I don't know anything about. I mean, I read those books. I liked Wraith Squadron, but I couldn't remember any storylines. I'm not saying they were memorable. They were just good, fun reading, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I just don't believe this movie's coming out in 2023 is there's no way on God's green earth Paramount says we're putting a fucking Star Trek movie right on that exact same date. If they know, the studios know. I don't care what Disney's releasing or when they're deciding to release it or what they're saying or hoping for. The inside, they trade dates. The dates are the most important thing. That's why they announce a date before they even make a movie. It's more important. They can't. If they could do, if it was counter programming, if it was like, hey, we're the same day we're releasing, I don't know, fucking Saw 4, whatever the fuck they make over at Paramount, right? Then okay, I'd still give this a 50-50. But there's no way they're putting a J.J. Abrams produced space movie on the exact same day as a Star Wars film. Like, does this?
Yeah.
I get Solo didn't do that well. It didn't. Come on, like.
Don't you think we'd have had casting by now? We would have had schedule of filming and all that jazz. Like, it's just been dead silence.
Yeah. There hasn't been anything about it moving forward at all.
Nothing.
And anyway, I don't think it could make it. I doubt it. But unless they're just doing a really good job at keeping it really under wraps for once. But I don't really buy that either. Usually I don't buy that. So we'll have to see. I don't want to be like a huge downer on that front, but yeah, there are no signs it's going to happen in 2023. So
that's a shame because the big theater Star Wars experience. Well, I do at least, but
I will watch Greasy Strangler.
Yeah,
if that thing is released on that date.
I
just bought myself another year.
Can we watch it together?
What?
Can we watch it together?
Yeah, we're gonna
physically or just like on the stream. Yeah, on the stream.
On the stream,
I'm not traveling all the way to your country to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Greasy Strangler in Australia sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to Australia. I'll go. I don't know where I'll go. I don't know anywhere down there. I know Brisbane. I know Perth. I know that giant mining thing they went to on MasterChef Australia looked like Avatar. That was crazy.
I say you and I get there unannounced. We don't tell Chris we're coming. We land. We beat the shit out of a kangaroo. We find one, just fucking literally box it. Just beat the shit out of it.
We're beating the shit out of a kangaroo.
Oh, but we're gonna try. It's a plan.
They're fucking big, beastly animals.
No, I know. It would kill me. It would kill me. Yeah.
They don't have to do any exercise. They just look like that. Fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Genetics.
Okay, how about this? We dress up like baby kangaroos. We get inside one. We put on Baby Yoda ears and we pretend to be Baby Yoda inside of the IG-11 inside a kangaroo's pouch. And then we show up. We show up at his place and be like, Australia, right?
Last night.
Yeah, we have dinner in that room behind us.
Last night was my haircut day, right? Once a month. I got my barber's my best friend. It was my only real friend in this whole state. We're good buddies. So I go, hey man, want to hear something about Mando 3? And he was like, sure. So I told him the IG-11 mech suit thing because it's a video. Yeah.
Barbershop.
And he was like, this guy loves Halo, loves fucking Mando, he's super nerdy. He goes, what? Like even he was thrown way off. And I had to go, remember when he was sitting on IG-11's lap, flying around on a fucking speeder bike and shit, and he was finally protected. You knew like there's no way they were getting. I'm like, that's how you can't. This kid is avoiding being like, even in Boba Fett, Baby Yoda was like being avoided. He was gonna be stepped on every 3 fucking seconds or hit with the blaster. Like it's the only thing that makes sense until he's old enough to whatever, like
yeah.
And but yeah, even he did not have the imagination.
I think me and Jason are the only two people that are into that idea.
I know it's gonna work.
Oh yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Everyone, I mean, if it was really terrible, people on set would have been like, "Ugh, I don't know what they're doing."
I'll try to. What I tried to liken it to him was, I'm like, look, if I had told you before the Mando ever came out that they were going to do a TV show featuring a guy that looks like Boba Fett and a baby Yoda, you would have been like, I don't know, man. They need to stay away from those characters. Why can't they get their own characters? I mean, but I'm leaving it to them to imagine that reveal. And nobody could have imagined how well the puppetry and the airbrushing and whatever design, the texturing they did on Baby Yoda, right? Like the color on him is... It's the best puppet they've made since the first Yoda, to be perfectly honest with you.
Hootie chootie disco cutie, hootie chootie disco cutie, hootie chootie disco cutie. How's it going, Max?
I feel very refreshed.
All right. Max has been a star this week. I meant to respond to some of your texts last night, but I was asleep.
It's okay.
Yeah. But Max is movie star Max this week.
Yeah,
on the show. So
my feet hurt too.
Feet hurt.
Fuck yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about. We haven't got to the main news stories, but we're talking about Rogue Squadron. It ain't happening. We don't think. At least we're all kind of like saying it ain't happening 2023. I don't think for that release. It's going to be a 2024 movie probably if it happens. And then, but we have some Kenobi stories to get to today that we will get to.
Well, before we get to that really quick, I'm just waiting for the big thing to come out that Patty Jenkins talked to Factor 5 to get their thoughts on Rogue Squadron. Why not, right? Just talk to everyone who ever had anything to do with an X-Wing flying around.
Well, actually, so I was filming for that movie.
Yeah. Max is in Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Oh, Red Squadron. What happens? What happens in Red Squadron?
It's a Pixar film.
I don't know.
Somebody got their period. Okay. The young boomer says Rogue Squadron is an adaptation of Spielberg's Duel, where a lone X-Wing pilot is chased down the hyperlanes by a large Imperial shuttle. 10 out of 10 film right there. Yeah, I would watch that. Also, remember Maximum Overdrive? That shit was rad. They should make some.
They had a Green Goblin.
Yeah, they had a green Goblin truck.
Yeah,
and it killed Lisa Simpson, I think.
Wasn't Emilio Estevez in that movie?
Yeah, peak Emilio.
Yeah, we got Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen in the Wraith. Like around the same time. It was a good fun time with the Sheens and the Estevezes. Same family.
All right, so I covered this first article yesterday, so we'll kind of just like hit on it very quickly, but you guys haven't got to share any thoughts if you have any. And I covered this one last night on a Sunday just to see what was up on a Sunday night stream. I figured I'd do it and talk a little bit more about Jabim. And there's this connection to Rogue One. And as Kenobi is on Jabim in Obi-Wan Kenobi, he comes into contact with the Partisans. And the Partisans were Saw Gerrera's group of freedom fighters from Rogue One. But in Rogue One, they are crazy maniacs who will kill civilian targets. They'll pretty much just do anything that they need to do to win because, they know what's at stake. But they've lost their values along the way. When we're introduced
Bill
to
Belichick of the Rebel Alliance, right?
But not Bill Bellamy. They remember Bill Bellamy. They basically end up as they start here. They have these like Rogue One, World War I style costumes, and I showed this picture for inspiration. And they pretty much half of them can't fight, half of them can fight. And you have kind of I think O'Shea Jackson, his character is sort of in the middle when you get down to it. He's definitely like in it for the right reasons, but is having to fight now and is kind of doing more of standard Rebel Alliance stuff as we'll see later on, once the Rebel Alliance is formed and fully operational. But he's with the partisans here, and we know that they become like two tubes and more off. They're fucking maniacs. They're just crazy out there on Jeddah, probably doing Space Lizard, all kinds of stuff, right? And but so anyways, yeah. Oh, and one little fun fact, they use clone trooper blasters, so I thought that was kind of interesting. The wars of the Clone Wars, or the Clone Wars weapons are what are left over, and they're basically some of them, like I said, are pacifist, and Kenobi's there with these guys, and so yeah, I mean it's kind of our first Rogue One connection, if you will, and it's like leading us into, I think, showing how they started on screen, and then we get Rogue One and we see how it ends.
Yeah, we'll see more of them in Andor, won't we?
I think so. And I think Saw Gerrera is in Andor. I think. I don't know 100%. If you guys remember back to the show, I had a rumor I talked about on this show. It didn't get picked up anywhere. Nobody cared. But it was that I was hearing that there was a Saw Gerrera show coming. And I was like, oh, I think there's going to be a Saw Gerrera series. But I'm wondering if that was actually wires getting crossed and it was this partisans. Saw Gerrera, I think, is mentioned. There is talk of Saw. And so we will have them contextualize in the episode. And I am under the impression this is around the 4th or 5th chapter. There's some kind of like story overlap between those chapters, I think. So I can't tell exactly where this falls in, but I think it falls. I think that they might like be introduced at the end of the 3rd episode, and then they're in the end of the 4th episode, then they're in the 5th episode. Okay. That's what I think is happening.
And none of them can fight. Is that what you're saying?
It sounds like half of them are joined up to be fighters, and the other half were like joined up to be like a humanitarian effort kind of thing. They're more like trying to bring, they're trying to bring food and supplies and medical attention to refugees and people that are fleeing their home worlds. And Mimban is in Solo: A Star Wars Story. And you have Mimban, and then you have Jabim. They sound the same. They're kind of the same. They all have that World War I vibe going on. But I think what we kind of have going on is in Solo, we're seeing what happens to those planets, the war, and there's definitely like I think a war going on here too. But I think there is, anyways. But in this one, we have more of like, well, how do they deal with the mess of all of this? That's kind of what I think is going on. But I do know O'Shea Jackson, not Saw Gerrera. Need to reiterate that he's not Saw, and he but he's definitely sort of like a hopeful character. I think it makes me wonder if we'll see more of him after the series, provided he lives. I believe he does, but I don't know.
Yeah,
well, do I? I think I actually do know, but yeah. Yeah, but I mean, do I know?
You know everything, Jason. You know everything.
Yeah. If the Hootie Chootie Disco Cutie says I know, I'll go with that. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But, yeah. So when you watch Rogue One, you're gonna be like,
Disco Cutie, Hootie Tootie, Disco Cutie.
How did they get here? You know? I've been told that most of the actors were younger people. Younger actors playing like roles. So it's like a young humanitarian movement. Some are ready to fight, and some have probably never fought ever.
So no, in other words, no crusty old men. We're saving that for the Mando.
I think so. I think the crusty old white dude is being saved for Mando at this time.
Gotcha.
And and I mean just to talk about like kind of like the possibilities here. Or the potential is like you could kind of see how on one hand O'Shea Jackson, like there was a time when I had to look up, I'm like, is O'Shea playing like a young Saw Gerrera? Because I mean, like, have they just recast him because they, for whatever reason? And is he playing like a younger version 10 years before? And I was like, so they're looking into that. It's not the case, but you do have somebody who literally could become Saw Gerrera. Like a, you know, when you look at Saw Gerrera early on in his life, he's a lot more like the O'Shea Jackson character. And so I'm curious if we're going to see this guy turn into Saw Gerrera too, or is this the guy who goes the other way? Is this the guy who doesn't become Saw Gerrera, goes through these battles and war and all of this, the mind fuckery of the Empire, but maintains his values, you know? Kind of
If Scott,
Interesting to see if
Yeah.
he pops up in there. We don't know.
So, a couple things. One, there's a podcast I really recommend. I listen to it often. It's called the Battles of the First World War.
Mhm.
It's got 80-something plus episodes at this point, but it really gets in deep on just individual battles and the experiences of what, you know, year by year, area by area, how fucking useless and terrifying and crazy it is. I mean, I mean, the amount of, it's crazy. Some of the amount of shelling and the shit they went through before they'd even like have to charge across an area. And then the fucking, there's just stories of like this one British soldier, you know, was like, the Germans deployed chemical weapons and he went to go put on his mask and it had gotten shot through. Like,
Oh shit.
he was fine, but there was a guy next to him who was injured who had just helped. He was trying to get his mask on, but he was injured and he just pulled the mask off him and there was nothing they could do. And, you know, and that soldier just like documented how haunted he was the rest of his life, or the look in the guy's face, you know, but it was just shit like that. And when I think of World War I, I really just think about how fucking useless the Clone Wars were, because they were all just a manufactured event for Palpatine to seize power. And so I always think the Clone Wars to me are the best parallel to World War I. And that it was just everyone's fighting, but for what? For nothing. No one even knows why anymore, you know, and they will never really know why, you know, because the narrative is sort of hidden from people, the general public. So anytime something comes out of the Clone Wars that isn't good, I feel World War I is the most appropriate analogy.
Yeah. And it's like one thing that I wanted to address again too is that it, you know, there's a big flashback sequence that happens in that episode, in that chapter, and that's the flashback episode. And so people who were on set for this thought it was flashing back to the Clone Wars. And I think if we want to pretend that any of the rumors have been legit about that, this is probably why. But I hope I'm wrong, but I keep hearing no, they flash back to the dojo sequence. So it's like you think it's going to be this like parallel thing where it's like, oh, now it's Obi-Wan and Anakin in the Clone Wars here on this planet because they were there. But it's more like there's all this stuff that's reminding him of that. But remembering Anakin in that war isn't going to be what helps him beat Darth Vader. It's remembering
Also,
the dojo.
Also, I think it's important to remember that, you know, Vader tells Luke, Obi-Wan once thought the way he did. This is the only time that so far we have, unless they do this again, where we can see that Obi-Wan still feels something that there's a man, there's a kid he loves in there, you know, and he can't bring himself to like if we were always talking about attachment, right? How there's an attachment for Obi-Wan to Anakin. He can't kill, you know what I mean, his little brother, right? He can't kill his little best friend, like he needs to, but he can't. He's attached, you know, like in some way or for whatever reason. So I wonder if that is the way they'll go, or if it's just going to be more of an implied thing.
I really want them to like rip my guts out, like make me sad.
Mm-hmm.
Make me sad.
Yeah. I think they might a little bit, a little baby bit.
Hard.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And the mods show up and save Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? It's all tied together. It's a shared universe.
Ah, there they are.
What?
They killed Lisa. But okay. so then this next article is related to Jabim and that stuff again, and also Jedi Fallen Order 2. And that's that we get a new Purge trooper. And so we're gonna have a lot of people showing up on Jabim for this stuff. And I will be completely honest that if there are a couple of things that happen and the order is a little bit confusing to me still. Like the first duel is, I think, on like a big ship. That's like the one from, and I think it's the partisan ship, and it's like the one that Mando's on in Book of Boba Fett season 2. Sorry, Book of Boba Fett season 1, the only season. And it's like a big ship, and I think it has like refugees on it probably or something. But I think Vader, he confronts Vader there. But I'll get into that stuff pretty soon. But that he has to confront the Purge troopers and all that stuff on it. So Purge Trooper, 1.0, you guys are always asking me about it on Star Wars Santa Show and this show in the chat. I get asked it pretty regularly. So I was really happy to be able to answer that. And in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jedi Fallen Order 2, we will be introduced to the new iteration of the Purge Trooper. Don't worry, it's the same great Purge Trooper taste, but with a new can. The helmet of the Purge Trooper has been reworked and revised a bit. The helmet has been changed and it's closer to a Shore Trooper now. I'm not saying they wear a black Shore Trooper helmets. It's just that it's the closest comparison I can make from memory. I think it's more of like a spirit of comparison, and the helmet is pretty neat, and I don't think people will be disappointed, but they had to change it, they had to upgrade it. And I have a theory that I don't go into in the article, and the theory is that some of the first Purge troopers were clones. They were clones and then inscripted humans or whatever, regular born people organisms. I don't know, but anyways, but eventually there are no more clones. There's no more clones. It's all just inscripted stormtroopers. So I think that as that change happens, that's probably when that design changes as well. So like, remember in Bad Batch, even like you have like those other stormtroopers, and then you get like the upgraded stormtrooper helmets eventually. I think it's something like that. So it's like the first one that the ones that we see in the Fallen Order game are the early versions, and then in Fallen Order 2 and Kenobi, we're going to see sort of where they end up. And we're going to have the 501st and I almost said Purge troopers with their new helmets. They hunt down Kenobi.
That's coming too. Poor troopers.
And the
it's in Ahsoka, you'll see.
They end up on the ship, ends up going to Jabim. Yeah, and then it basically we just have these we have a fight, and it sounds like we'll get into more of this very, very soon, but that Kenobi has to go in sort of unarmed, and there's sort of a little bit of a mystery to some of this stuff. There's some logistical stuff, and I would have gone into the article.
His own arm off. That's why he's really into cutting arms off after that. It's his finish,
Give me robot arms. This kid's robot arms. No, but basically, there's just like this like dumb logistical stuff about why is this here and that there, kind of just dumb stuff to answer. And I know if I don't have it, people will be like, "Well, I'm confused," and it's like, yeah, listen to the bullet points. That's what matters. But I know, so I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of some of the other stuff, just to understand exactly why it works this way, and having to like use sources that were on like chapter 1 and sources that are on chapter 2, and then you got sources on chapter 4 and 5, and it's just like all over the place with this. So it's hard to figure out some of this stuff without having seen it, But I mean, when it comes to like the Purge Trooper thing, I think some people will be really excited to see more stormtroopery, Jedi hunting variants and black costumes that are fun,
Mm-hmm.
And like I think like my kid's gonna love it. He loves those things and loves that game Fallen Order and stuff. And Fallen Order is supposed to show up at Star Wars Celebration, and I don't remember his name. A big game leaker just came out and said it too, and I was like, I think I'd already said it on the show before that it was going to happen at Celebration, and this guy said it, but that guy saying it means a lot more than me because I'm not in the gaming industry, I don't really follow that stuff very much, and but so I think we're going to see
Henderson.
Okay, we're gonna. I think we're gonna see the Purge Troopers probably at Celebration for Fallen Order too, because the fourth and fifth episodes of Kenobi won't have aired yet. So we'll most likely see it revealed for Fallen Order, and we for Fallen Order 1, that's when we first saw the Purge Troopers, right? Wasn't Fallen Order 1's like announcement? I was at this event. I remember going down to it, and they had like the guys in the costume there and stuff. It was pretty cool costume. But me and Rob a few weeks ago, we were like talking about it when somebody asked on the show, and he was like, "They're not gonna do anything from a video game. They're not gonna do any of that. They won't care." Or whatever, and it was like kind of funny because he was mostly right, but also just a little bit baby wrong at the same time, because they changed the helmet to make it more, I think, to make it more practical, to make it work better in live action and stuff. That's just my guess, but yeah. So Purge Troopers 2.0, they're coming.
A lot of cool things to look forward to in the next few months.
Yeah.
We're almost in
Changing
April.
my name to Baby Right. You know what I mean? Baby
I thought
Right.
they were changing your name to a nunchuck.
Oh shit! Flip the coin on this one. It's a good one, nunchuck.
Yeah.
I look like a nunchuck.
Right. Yeah.
You heard
Yeah.
that?
So
No,
once
I just
again,
make cat noises now.
No, I adjusted my my audio settings, so you shouldn't have, but
Okay.
I guess you did.
eh,
It
it's
was
fine.
light. It's light.
It
We,
is
we
watching.
love our kitty sources. That's how
No.
we know about the Purge Trooper. If it wasn't for the kitties, it's like, kitty meow if there's a new Purge Trooper. And we're like, meow. I was like meow if it has the same helmet, and it didn't meow. And then I was like, meow if it has a new helmet, and it was like meow. And I was like, there we go. I'm all, is it like a short trooper? It was like meow. And I was like, this is how you do it. I think it's how some people do it anyways.
Yeah,
But
totally.
Luke says it makes
Turns out,
sense.
sorry. I was gonna say your source is Tom and Jerry. You know?
Tom and Jerry, yeah.
Yeah,
Little
figured
silent
it.
mouse. And
Hopefully, there's no Jerry.
it makes sense that Clone Wars flashbacks would be in the Ahsoka show, as that was her first appearance. Just don't know if Kenobi would feature that as an allegedly camoing in Andor too. So, yeah.
Cameoing. Cameoing. Like a cameo.
Word up, cameo. The artist of a generation.
Cameo, think I wanna know you. Ooh.
But yeah, and Andor too. I don't know if the Andor thing is accurate, to be honest. I'm a little, I mean, it could be. It really could be. But I've never heard something about Kenobi and Andor from my end where I can be like, yep, that's happening. I never heard of Ewan McGregor going over and filming anything. And but the only thing that seems to make any potential sense is that they had Andor was listed as doing work in Los Angeles early on as being a bi-coastal thing. But
Mhm.
I have a theory about that. And I think I know why that is. That's because down in Manhattan Beach, Andor had offices. And the people who do those listings, like, yeah, there was an Andor office in Los Angeles, at Manhattan Beach. And that's why. It could be that simple. It might just be that simple. But I mean, it would be great. I want more Kenobi. I wouldn't be mad if they had a good reason to put Kenobi in that other show.
Yeah, but I'm sure if he was on in Andor, you would have heard something by now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I have my doubts in the show. If he was on in the show, you would have heard something. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're seeing him in Andor.
Yeah. And Andor's a hard one to get leaks from because it's more, sounds like it's more straight. It's more serious. So you don't have people going like, oh, dude, Black Chrysanthemum was there. It's crazy. Like, it's not like that kind of show where you could say something without giving anything away, really.
Right.
It's like, you have to be like, oh yeah, then Mon Mothma was very serious when she proclaimed. Like, it's just, that's why it's kind of a hard one to know what's up. And But I feel like if Kenobi was in it, there would be a lot of leaks on that front. But I hope he is. I hope I'm wrong. That'd be great.
Yeah, more
I mean, at least it could be if it fits. But anyways, and that's been my theory. I'm sure Luke remembers this because I say it all the time. Luke's like, "Shut up, man. I get it." But I feel like Ahsoka having Hayden Christensen involved is almost a way of doing what they couldn't do in Kenobi in a classy way. What it didn't need, like number one, you can't do Force Ghost Anakin. He's not dead yet, but people want to see Hayden Christensen as Anakin as the ghost, and so it's a reason to do it. That's good, but also, yeah, like Luke says, the flashbacks make a lot more sense. Like for instance, if you want to just look at Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship, I mean, he's like 8 or 9 years old when he moves in with Obi-Wan, right? When they start bunking together. And then he's like, what, early 20s when he turns? It's a good 13 years probably. So the Clone Wars are 3 years. There's a whole 10 years that they're together that could be important to the relationship if you're going to write something new. And fans tend to just go with, oh, well, I watched 100 episodes of the Clone Wars, therefore that's the most important part. And so for Anakin and Kenobi, I mean, they could literally have made him Jake Lloyd's age if they had wanted to, and made the important thing there if they had, and it would have been just as valid as any other year. But in this instance, he's trying to pick apart how to defeat Anakin as a swordsman, Darth Vader, and he needs to remember back to when they were actually doing their training, what his weaknesses were, and where he wasn't listening, where he was. And in that fight, Kenobi is like telling him what he's doing wrong. He's telling Kenobi where his weaknesses are too, which is data that Kenobi's able to use because he knows exactly what Anakin is picked up on and what he would try to exploit. And we see them fight in Revenge of the Sith, so we know kind of how that washes out anyways. But this is more of a logical, it's more of a logic game to understanding that end fight. So so just showing them killing battle droids and flipping off Count Dooku, that's not necessarily going to really inform this end battle in Kenobi. It wouldn't really prop up the war, or I mean the chances of winning. So doing it would kind of not make sense. Now I know that there are earlier on there's like flashbacks to Anakin, but I don't know if they're all in the same dojo setting, and I don't know, but I don't think that they're Clone Wars, and I hope I'm wrong. If there's a bunch of flashbacks and like just the main sequence is the dojo, that's great. Like I'm cool with that because it sounds smart. But it would be nice to have Clone Wars flashbacks. But
imagine we had a flashback of Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, right. But the thing that actually, like, if you were going to start making up rumors, which people obviously do, wouldn't it make more sense if Hayden Christensen is in Ahsoka and we're more likely to get a flashback to the Clone Wars, that Ewan McGregor would be in the Ahsoka series and the Clone Wars flashback with Hayden? That could very well be something that's happening, and it could be to literally, it didn't fit into the story, so that might happen there because it would make the most sense.
Would you want to see that?
No, that sounds dumb. I hate the Clone Wars.
So
Clone Wars are
dumb.
Stupid. Rebels and Clone Wars and the sequel trilogy and the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, I hate it all.
Me too.
No, of course, yeah, I would. I would love to. I mean, I would love if they found a way to make a movie
Really?
set during the Clone Wars with them in it. That was, it doesn't have to be about Anakin turning to the dark side or anything like that. Just a good war story. I see so much of that in the Clone Wars animated show where I'm like, yeah, this is a good little mini film. And there are times that I'm like, yeah, they could make a film with them in it. Not even as the main characters, as supporting characters and stuff. And I would love that.
It wouldn't be my number one choice, but you can persuade me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good story.
Yeah. I mean, and all of this stuff, I mean, just works to strengthen the prequel trilogy era.
Mm.
Yeah.
I guess it would be nice to have a live action version since not everyone watches the animated, like some people. So,
Yeah.
our
Ghost friends,
yes.
our Australian friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I
But the
also though like
prequel trilogy is getting a lot of love right now. It's like hit a real renaissance, so I'm down for that. I grew up in the prequel, so the more prequel trilogy stuff we get, give it all to me. You know what I mean?
I'm actually not a fan of the Jedi wearing the armor that they do in the Clone Wars show.
I liked that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
pretty
I'm not.
cool.
I thought it was cool beans.
Yeah.
I did. I liked it.
Yeah. It to me it screams what does Hasbro think a 7-year-old boy wants in an action figure? And they're like, well, we have this problem where half the little boys want Jedi and half the other little boys want stormtroopers. What do we do? Oh, but
What about the
stormtroopers shoot on
girls?
Jedi. I'm talking about when they were coming up with this in 2007. That's what they would have been saying.
It's different.
And yeah.
So
And
they
girls
gave
didn't
them
exist back
Indiana
then.
Jones toys that year instead. Here, play with some Nazis.
No, they were Russians. They were Russians that year.
Oh, sorry. Play with
Ruskies.
Russian Nazis.
Yeah.
Right now, man, it's a little tough.
That's not
to tell
really.
the
Yeah,
difference.
that's a little
They're
sticky
wearing
right now.
Giant white
Samo.
Z's.
Yeah. Right. Fucking Russians, man. Anyways, they yeah, but I mean it just feels like that kind of thing to me. And then the fact that we kind of like I never liked the idea that we start the war with them having or not having the armor on, then they have the armor on, then we get to revenge the Sith that they don't because they can't because those movies didn't do that, kind of thing. But maybe there was that realistic card back they made for Anakin and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan for like the vintage collection, and they like painted them like with the armor on with like Hayden's face and stuff like that, and it didn't look super bad. It didn't look awful, so I could be persuaded if the armor looked right on them and felt good, but. But I'm not convinced it would. I'm not convinced it would. It would probably work on Darth Vader because it gives that Vader vibe. That's why I like it. But on Obi-Wan, like the white stormtrooper bracers with the robes and stuff, to me, or to with the tunic, it just doesn't really. I don't know. Doesn't connect right for me for the character. I mean, but that's just my preference. Obviously,
that's my preference too.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what they do, and if they do it, because if they do it, I mean a whole lot of people are going to be happy about it. Like I hope they do it just because I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but I know that it would make so many people happy if they do it.
Would it be expensive?
Nah.
To have them look younger?
Oh, that. No, not as much. I mean, Star Wars is full of visual effects. I don't think so. I mean, I would bet when they're doing the flash, because they are making them younger in this show when they do the flashback. They're making it like Attack of the Clones era, and I keep seeing it reported as Revenge of the Sith when it was very clear it was Attack of the Clones era. It's like 19-year-old looking Anakin, and so I think they probably just use that deep fake guy. I think in a weird way, remember when they hired the Shamut guy and everybody was like, oh, they're doing it for this reason or that reason. I bet you this is one of the reasons.
Luke looked great, didn't he? In Boba Fett, he looked amazing.
Yeah.
So no complaints from me.
Oh yeah, he made it a lot better. If he worked on that, the season 2 or sorry, the book of Boba Fett, Luke looks fantastic. So and Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, they don't look bad. So them I think just doing a deep fake pass on them we could probably do it for pretty cheap and make them look like they're of that era pretty easily.
Or just give them a facelift, a little one.
Yeah.
Little Botox. Yeah.
Well, here's the real question though is the one thing I want to know is do they he has like the high cheekbones like you're like what's going on there, Kenobi? But no, is that we have it's after Attack of the Clones, but before Revenge of the Sith. Are they going to give Kenobi the mullet? Is the mullet back, or are we going like with some like in between like Clone Wars era hair at this point, like where they?
Can I say this, like, regarding the mullet? I don't know if you guys know about Australian rules. It's like it's football, but it's only played in Australia.
Uh-huh.
About 90%, maybe not 90, about 80% of the players have a mullet. It's huge in Australia right now.
Really?
The mullet is huge, especially teenage boys. From
Yeah.
about 13 to about 16.
Yuck.
Every teenager has a mullet. So hey,
all of the I like Australian punk a lot of bands, and they all have the mullets.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Australian punks are loving the mullets.
That's
Yeah, I'm
not
not
a
going out
that's
too,
not a
man.
hairstyle I
Yeah,
would
I might
ever.
just leave this short and just grow it back. But yeah,
It's time, dude. You can BG's it up too. You could Ewan McGregor BG's it up with that thick ass head of hair you got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be honest, we all call it the Joe Dirt. We got our
The
Husker
Joe
do's,
Dirt.
our Husker don'ts. Right?
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
love Joe Dirt.
yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Jason.
Kid
you
Rock's an
mentioned
asshole in
mullets.
that movie.
You mentioned mullets, and it's very mullets are in Australia. It's a big thing in Australia right now.
They
I don't know
can
what's
stay
going on
there.
camera, but it's really pissing me off.
Yeah, I think me and Max have had to live through like mullets when they weren't ironic, so we don't see the cuteness in it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Nor acid wash jeans. I don't care. Even though they did come back for a little while, my friend wore them. I said, I will never wear those ever again.
I did like what Britney did to jeans though. Remember when they were doing those real low waisted jeans? That was kind of fun.
What were they cut? They cut the top.
Yeah, you can see downtown to Chinatown to the pants.
Yeah. I think Mariah Carey did that first.
Was that Mariah did it first? Okay.
Yeah. Where they cut the top,
Yeah.
the top of the jeans, and like had them lower riders,
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
So what we're saying is that there's going to be a scene with a topless Kenobi with the mullet in jean shorts that are cut.
Acid wash.
After watch jean shorts is cut, and he's like, Anakin, you don't listen. Today's Asher Watch short jeans day. And he's like, mastering you. And he's like, you're a bitch. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you someday because you won't wear these jeans. And then he shows up with the jeans on in the end, and Invader's like, no. He's hitting the buttons on his chest.
You doing this?
Yeah, no.
Do you remember?
Flying.
Do you remember Jane Childs?
Jane Child, who's that?
She was a singer in the 80s. She had like spiky hair and long braids. It was a mullet, but it was her hair were like in braids, and then she
Okay.
had just like a spike at the top. And the song was I don't want to fall in love.
How does it go? Sing it, Max.
No.
Sing it. Come
No,
on.
she says
I don't want to fall in love again. Is that how it goes? I don't know.
don't want to fall in love.
Oh, okay.
Love hurts just like a knife or something like that. And she goes, whoa.
Oh, okay.
You make a knife feel good. I think that's.
I'm recognizing that lyric because it's fucking nuts.
I subscribe to GJ Jazzy Jeff's magmobvp.com.
Okay.
So he plays this often in the mix. Max, if you ever want to hear some great oldies from the late 80s,
Who?
early 90s, DJ Jazzy Jeff. He has his own site.
Remember he gets
Magma.
thrown out. He gets thrown off the porch in the Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to fall in love.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that
he
one
knows the
fucking
song.
thing, right?
He knows the song.
Yeah, I know it because he's always in the. Jeff, he's playing all the music from 86 to 92.
Does he play
all the time?
A Nightmare on My Street?
Yeah. He did a Halloween episode this year. It was great that he played that, but he also told the story about how they got sued, and then he dressed up.
That.
They were trying to get Squid Game outfits, but they couldn't get them in time, so his wife dressed up like Hillary, and he's like, "I got her! I finally got her!" Hillary
Wait,
from
Hillary
Bill
Banks.
Hader. Yeah, Hillary Banks. Yeah. He's like, it took me, I put on a lot of weight. I got gray hair, but I got her. Like, so super great.
Remember when Freddy Krueger was in the video Nightmare on My Street? That was great.
Yeah, he was saying they got sued off the planet for that one. Like, they got so
Wait,
much
but
trouble.
wasn't he Freddy Krueger? Wasn't Freddy Krueger in it?
Yeah, but
No,
they weren't supposed to
Was
have.
he?
No. I don't know if he was in it, but they were. Whatever
I
it
think that
was, they got sued by New Line. Yeah,
Okay.
big time.
because
Oh,
it was
okay.
like I know they had I think like an impersonator on the like talking like him. I
Okay.
think I don't remember him being in the video,
Okay.
but I remember shortly after they got sued
I was a
and
kid,
they
so in
stopped
my
playing on the
kid
radio.
brain, that was Freddy, and I guess I could see why they got sued because it probably fooled little kid Jason.
This is
Nolan
literally
says,
saying it's Freddy in this lyrics, you know?
"Yeah, yeah." Nolan says, "Fallen Order seems to be much closer to current canon than most Star Wars video games, so I'm not surprised they're referencing that game in other mediums. Bring on the Purge Troopers." Yeah, I'm getting the impression that the creators of Kenobi were just played Fallen Order. We're like, this game's fucking tight because they brought in the Purge Troopers and they brought in the Partisans. The Partisans are also in Fallen Order, and they're on Kashyyyk and they're completely like a military force with Saw Gerrera. So it kind of seems like they had that game on the brain. And it's kind of funny because you can see when things are happening though, like you could like almost not fan math, just real life math, and look at what was on their brains when they were writing this thing, and Fallen Order was the big thing for Star Wars at that moment, and even back to the fake Maul story, they weren't gonna redo Darth Maul. From Star Wars Rebels when they had just released the episode killing Maul in Star Wars Rebels, and that Dave Filoni wrote and directed. They just weren't going to fucking erase that at that time, especially. Like, will they eventually someday for a better story opportunity in live action? I wouldn't be surprised if it gets changed, or if they redo it and it feels less canon. But boy, that
So
story's still going around.
Darth Maul
Yeah.
took over Mandalore, right? Like, was that
Yes.
reading that right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why don't
Maul.
they just do that history and put him in there? This way you get him on screen with the Mandalorians and all that shit. Like, why not? I don't.
Well, honestly, I would love to see it, but I also don't care because the live action series would barely elevate what they did in the Clone Wars on those arcs. Lucas was involved. Filoni was working at peak. Filoni, there's shots in there I don't even think would look better in live action. Like when Mandalore is burning and you get that shot of Kenobi from behind, and they really kind of hit it right there. And so that's one of the
But
arcs
if
where I'm like, everybody should watch it.
also, I mean, there is a story. Oh shit! This would be a good one-off, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, they were there was that concept art on The Force Awakens of like a Sith ghost Luke was talking to on Jet on Batu or whatever the fucking planet was. And I mean, there could be like a Maul ghost on Tatooine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a Sithy Maul. Look, you laugh, but we just saw Space Lizard and Oceans on Tatooine. So like, you know, like this is not.
Well, no,
You
truth is when he confronts him on when Maul confronts Obi-Wan on Tatooine looking for Luke and they have like the conversation, Maul dies in Kenobi's arms like Qui-Gon.
Like I love
And
you.
he realizes like in his death he's been played the whole time, his whole life. And it's actually a very good smart ending for Maul and with the atonement with Kenobi and stuff. So that's where I don't think that they will ever bring him back or do anything with them like that. I think if anything, they would just expand upon the story and then have that be the ending and tell it from a different perspective is all I think that they will do with the current guard at Lucasfilm.
Didn't they French kiss like as he died?
Well, what he actually does is Kenobi takes out like a handkerchief
Uh huh.
and you can see on it says Padme Amidala. It was Padme's, and you're like, whoa, it's Padme's.
Mhm.
And then he takes out a water bottle, he sprays his face and starts rubbing off all of the tattoos and the paint. He pulls off the horns and he's like, dude, you're a beautiful man. Then he just starts licking his face like a kind of like a cat.
Yeah.
Like licks another cat, and he just like does that for a long time,
Mhm.
and then Maul just fades away to the Force.
You're really gonna give up your source by telling this much right now.
You're right. You're right.
You should be careful.
Yeah,
You're
really
you're making some sources out there real nervous.
they already know that
Oh,
our
silly!
sources are
Don't be
kitties.
silly.
That's kitty sources. The kitties told me. That's why I think he licks his face like a cat.
Yeah, my cats wanted to see some guy on guy kiss. So.
Luke says seems to remember Obi-Wan having a Clone Wars armor skin on Battlefront 2. Yeah. I believe he did. I'm pretty sure he did, but yeah, they were
and
so
Deborah
weird.
Chow talked to the Battlefront guys to confirm before they put that in the series. So,
and they
that's how we
said
know it's
no.
happening.
They said you can't do it. They said no. They said yeah. They
fucking
said
EA, man, I hate them.
They said, "What do you think this is? Chow time?" They hung up.
Oh, no. So insensitive. That makes sense. EA, that just makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, she directed Mr. Robot. She's good. She's good. Robots, Mr. Robot. I said he's like, that is me. I am Mr. Robot.
Whose was that?
I think it might be my dildo. I don't know. It sounded like him. Sounded like a vibrator going off in somebody's bag at the airport.
Oh wait, that's mine. Sorry. Hold on.
Luke says there was an Entertainment Weekly video with Ewan talking specifically about the hair. He described it as a look of a man who isn't looking after himself. Yeah, and he actually in that same interview talks about the old Jedi mullet, the Bee Gees hair that he had in Attack of the Clones as well. And I was wondering, when I saw that, I was like, In that same interview, I think too, he does pretty much confirm that, like, in a roundabout way, that he's a guy who it's about a story about Kenobi getting his mojo back. He kind of confirms it, if I remember. He's like, in the beginning, he's like, yeah, I don't have it together, and at the end, I do. But I'm curious about the end. He has a haircut. Like, do they move him? Because it's kind of weird. Because Attack of the Clones is like, here's the Bee Gees, and then you think Revenge of the Sith is the last one, so like, oh, give him Alec Guinness hair, closer to it, anyways. And then he has that hair, and then we get to this one, and he's back at the Bee Gees. He's back. He's having his midlife crisis. He's going back, trying to get the haircut from when he was cool. Yeah.
He uses the lightsaber to trim his own hair.
Do you think he gets the Alec Guinness hairstyle, like, at the end?
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe.
And it moves like
it's really short.
Hello there. Yeah. Hello, Darth Maximus.
Hey, Darth Maximus.
I don't know if I said hi to Junkbox today, but hi, Junkbox and Nolan Ryan and everyone else.
Hi, guys.
And thanks to everybody for being a channel member and supporting the show. It definitely helps. Everybody becoming a channel member has brought us so many spoilers, because I've been able to take that space cash out to the space disco and dance the night away and learn what's going on. Cutie, Star Wars disco cutie. Junkbox says, I need to see this in live action now. Ewan holding Ray Park wiping off his face is brilliant.
Well, there's that whole scene afterward where Ray Park says, I've taken off my makeup, Kenobi. Let's see if you can take off yours. And he just has some lip balm on. He just wipes it off.
He says, take off your clothes. Obi-Wan.
I think it would be cuter though if he was like, you take it off mine, now let me put yours on you. And then he just starts drawing tattoos on Obi-Wan's face. And you're like, these guys are really made up. They're like best friends now.
Why are you writing Ray Palpatine on my face, Darth Maul? What does this mean? Why are you doing that? I'm going to use my Obi-Wan voice is now Ringo Starr, by the way. I'm just going with it.
Okay, how about this, guys? Hear me out. This really could have happened.
Maul.
What if he actually just drew a dick on Kenobi's face and then Instagram that, and everybody thought it was his real dick? He didn't
John
do that.
did that to me once.
It was just a drawing
in the Jedi temple. Yeah, John and Yoko Drew a
Dude.
space dick on my face.
Dude, that voice, seriously. Ideal.
I'm gonna win an award.
Then
It's
he
not
licks
the
it.
award I want, but I'm gonna win one.
Jugbox says, I
thought
need
it-
this. Oh, Luke says, oh yeah, I want to see him with the Revenge of the Sith hair grayed out by season's end, especially as he said that he originally designed to bring him closer to Alec Guinness's hair in A New Hope. Yeah. I appreciate that they didn't just make it more Alec Guinnessy. You know, it would have been fine if they had, but we didn't really need it to like do that. You know, for adventurous Obi-Wan Kenobi, you don't necessarily want it to be like an old gray-haired dude necessarily. You know, I can see why they went where they went.
And I'm being serious though here. It may sound like a joke, but just go with me here.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out when the Star Wars universe gets those 80s bowl haircuts. Right?
No.
I mean, because Nadine kind of has one a little bit, right? Like, wouldn't that come into service? You know, they had to have gone through it. We went through it. They went through it.
It's the bowl haircuts, man. They're the best.
No. Fuck Hanson and all that shit.
Be
Fuck
great if Kenobi
Joey
had gotten
Lawrence.
this one.
Didn't that
It's like
have
everything's great. Everything's great. Hold on, Max. Everything's great, but then Kenobi has the bowl haircut, and people are like, "Fucking, what did you do that for?" All right, go ahead.
I think some kids like defaulted to the bowl haircut because it was come to the side, but then after you got around playing, then it just kind of like your bangs fell. So you
Yeah.
kind of have like a bowl head.
Yeah. What went and like
But I never. No, that you mean that mushroom bowl thing?
yeah, like Rivers from Weezer. He would go and like comb it into this like Kurt Cobain thing. And I remember one time I was like at a pizza place with him, and we were eating pizza, and he's just like a normal guy. And then they were gonna play that. They were playing that like that night, like an hour later.
Mhm.
And it comes out an hour later, and he's in like a button-up shirt with like horn rim glasses on, and it's all been combed down into a bowl cut to this horrible fucking bowl cut. And that guy was not walking around with that bowl cut. And you see all these Weezer kids like doing the bowl cut because he does it, not getting laid. But meanwhile, Rivers is going around like combing his hair normal, getting laid, like, and you know, being a normal person. But
I think if those styles ever came back, it would just be like certain groups that would do it, not everybody.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Proud
Yeah.
Boys, probably.
No,
For all of us.
oh man, if
Right.
if Proud Boys all had bowl
They
cuts,
don't.
people
they
would
would
just be
do
like,
the
oh,
they would do
they're
the mullets, wouldn't they? If anything,
It's too on the nose. It's too
The
on the
mullet?
nose. No, they'll go with something real because like they wear those stupid '80s clothes and those stupid fucking '80s glasses. They all look like. Look, I love. What was it Swing Sisters? You know, Breakout. Like I love that band, but you know how like that was like the sound of the yuppies in the '80s. They all like somehow that's their fucking anthem. They'll steal the bowl cut, ruin my whole fucking childhood. I think Ben Solo. I agree with Luke Winchester. Ben Solo should have the bowl cut.
No,
No?
He should.
no.
Yeah.
Do you guys
it would
like
make
bell bottoms?
sense if like, he was killing his dad and he thought of the bowl cut.
How about this? That's a bowl cut. Look at that.
Is that you?
Yeah.
The closest to that in Star Wars is Anakin. I'm just saying it. Like,
was your hair ever come
Very
to the
close.
side?
Sorry?
Was your hair come to the side? Or it was just down.
No, it was just like that. It was really straight when I was younger. I rocked the ball. I rocked
Nice
the
You
hair.
ball.
rock the bowl.
You rocked the bowl.
You were kind of you have some major Toad vibes from the Mario.
Yes.
rock the bowl cut. Rock the bowl cut. Your mom gave your haircut. Do, do, do. Right? Rock the
Hey.
bowl cut, right? Weird Al's coming out soon.
Yeah. But yeah.
Talking Sin
Toad
says,
come
I can't remember if you said what you think the secret kind of animation project is. Yeah, no, that's as good of a guess as anyone else can make. I mean, we got Tales of the Jedi out there, right?
Do you
Pork
need more
belly.
money to find that out?
Me? Yeah, give me money. I'll tell you. Oh yeah, it's oh, what is it? Oh
Pork
yeah,
belly. Told you.
it's a Droid Story 2 animated style.
Oligarchs.
Unrated. Oligarchs unrated and uncut.
Oligarchs
mean?
gone wild, right?
Tells of the bowl cut.
Oh, it's a bowl
Do you
cut
like
with
bowl-
a rat tail. The worst of the two worst haircuts ever.
Oh, how about this for the teaser? Like you see like the main hero with the bowl cut, then you cut to this unnamed Sith Lord you've never seen, and he looks at the camera and he's all, "It's time to smoke a bowl." And you're like, "Yeah, get him, Sith Lord."
Do you guys like bell bottoms?
Hanging out again.
Do I like bell bottoms? I'm not really a fan of bell. I mean, if somebody else is wearing them, like, cool. I guess
I do. Do you like them, Chris?
No.
I have no idea what that is, Max.
What?
Good.
bell bottoms.
Good.
Those 70s pants with like the jeans where they kind of like bell out in the bottom.
Oh, you
I've
mean
seen
flare jeans? Flare. We call them flares. They go in and they go out.
No, they're like more tapered at the thigh and then they bloom out.
Yeah, it's more like
Like
70s
from the-
disco. It's very Bee Gees.
Oh.
You know what the Bee Gees are, right? Or who they
Yeah,
are?
for sure.
Yeah, they wear bell bottoms.
Australia.
You know what bell bottoms are.
No, man, look,
The Jedi Knights on Broadway. You know that, Chris. Right?
no, I don't, but I'll learn it for
Doesn't
you.
know the song. He doesn't
You
know
like?
the song.
I guess Rob doesn't like bell bottoms.
No.
Do you like
It's
ringer
horrible.
shirts, t-shirts?
No.
What the fuck, Rob?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. You know, my favorite thing about the 70s was how all that weird shit from 1882 came back in the architecture. So I've been watching The Gilded Age on HBO Max, right? It takes place in 1882. It's from Julian Fellows created this for the guy who put together Downton Abbey. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is the shit that came back in the 70s. Like, you look at the lamps, they got the same wicker chairs, all that shit on the Muppet Show. It's there.
Yeah, I actually there's something that I'm working on. And I was trying to get some inspiration from like 1976, and so I started doing some research, and then I found all these different eras that inspired 70s fashion, and what you were saying, the 1800s was one of them, which explains why they have like the girls have the those really billowy looking dresses.
Gilded Age, Max. You should check it out.
Okay. Send me the
Gilded
link.
Age. I like Brian
HBO Max.
Fellows.
But yeah,
all those animals.
That part was ugly. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, but Talking Sis says Obi-Wan needs the bootcut jeans for his Jedi boots. Luke says, I feel like all this talk about denim is just you guys teasing a prequel for Jeans Guy from The Mandalorian. Yeah, right. I wonder.
I thought Stash Guy from Boba Fett should fight Jeans Guy, right? the guy with the stash, the skeevy stash at the mayor's office.
Oh yeah.
Hey James, you're mega late.
James,
Robot talk.
Mr. Washington is super late today. That's fine.
Say it
Better late
say
than
it like a
never.
robot. Just say it like a robot.
Rob has been sending me memes about Batman and Let's Get Nuts from the Michael Keaton scene, and he had one about the scene with Michael Keaton talking about, he's like, let's get nuts, and then the Joker's like, you never touch another man's rhubarb, and that's the scene. And for some reason,
it's Pattinson telling that to Christian Bale. He goes, so Batman, check this out. Batman says, let's get nuts. And the Joker replies, never touch another man's rhubarb. And that's the scene. Christian Bale's got this look like, yeah. It's the version of No Way Home, right? That we deserve. I'm just saying, I'm not the biggest fan of Batman fighting aliens and all that shit. I like street level stuff. But, I mean, putting them all in one film while they're alive in some way, kind of should be done just for posterity's sake. Like, I know a couple of them are going to show up in the Flash, but really, they should have got it. They should have just got them together. Give us, if you're going to relaunch a Batman, give us all the other ones in there somehow. Because I got to tell you, man, it was fun when I saw Lego Batman and good old Billy D was Two-Face finally. Like they got that one right. So.
What is that Batman animated series? That anime one?
I don't know.
The classic one, the early 90s one?
No, there was one that came out like within the past, I want to say like 5 or 10 years, where it was an anime version of Batman Ninja. I like the style of that.
Oh yeah, that was fun. The animated cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Where it goes back in time. And, like Joker's like Yeah, that was fun. I like that.
Well,
Talking.
they do that those samurai, variants on the Star Wars armor and the statues and stuff. And I was like, I always felt that should have been the first era. Like if you're gonna go back to like the first Jedi, just go full that stuff. But
Actually, my
whatever.
character from the music video was inspired by Visions.
Mm,
The Visions, the bandit leader,
yeah, yeah.
which was appropriate because where we were filming, we were actually at a Buddhist temple, so it kind of had that whole vibe, the Asian vibe, especially with the other Jedi that were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I fit
That
it perfectly.
and you're a bandit.
I was the leader.
You're
I was the
bandit
leader of all these people.
Cool.
I was a bantha fodder leader.
Talking Sis says the reception is from book above a fat would be perfect because that he's rocking a mullet underneath that cap. And then
I thought
Luke
above
says-
a Fett is what they said. I was like, oh, that's his memoir, Above a Fett, right? Like, I like that.
Luke says, wasn't Ian McGregor Robin once? Or is that just a lizard up the nose fever dream?
It was
No.
a lizard up the news stream.
No, but I do think that Chris O'Donnell's shorter buzz cut from Batman Forever is what the Padawan should have had. That weird spiky fucking Chia pet hair shit they got, dude. I'm not feeling it. They should have just gone full buzz cut on the top.
In the braid at the back or not?
Well, I mean,
the braid on the side, I don't care a shit about. But I mean, like one way or the other, I'm fine with it. But I just think the buzz cut was better. The full,
I think that's more to do with Ewan's hair to some extent too. Because I mean, and then if they had done it that way, it would have just looked like Renton from Trainspotting.
His hair's so
So?
thick and straight. Well, yeah. So like you cut it to a certain
Liam-
point, then it starts getting like.
Liam Neeson still looks like Rob fucking Roy. Like it doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Looks like
There's
Qui-Gon
no
Jinn.
difference. There's no difference.
It's night and day.
Mace Windu looks like Samuel L. Jackson. No fucking difference. Like I don't. The only one that don't look like themselves is Yoda. Don't look anything like Yoda. That's the dude that.
Well, in 1999,
help.
I mean, it looks just like Yoda.
But that
now.
weird
they fixed it,
spiky hair.
Thankfully,
they look like they look like a koosh ball. Remember those koosh
Mhm.
balls? Yeah,
yeah.
got koosh ball hair.
Yeah, in that video that we were talking about, he talks about Ewan speaks of how he started filming. I'm gonna guess A Life Less Ordinary, probably, and where he has a little bit of longer hair, and he has to go back for reshoots on Star Wars, and he's like just talking about how bad it is when you have to wear a short wig. And how dumb he looked in the reshoots. And he's like, somebody decided to put me on a poster in with the short wig, and he was just so pissed off about it. You could tell he was still mad that they used the dumb wig picture of him for actual posters.
Which is why every actor has some kind of thing in their contract where they have to approve any marketing materials with their face on it. And that is
Mhm.
why we don't get drawn posters.
Yeah. Dumb.
That's why.
Well,
And it started with X-Men 3. No, it changed big time. When I was on the X-Men 3 stuff, it went from the studio had a marketing, they had these pre-approved, and then everything that got done, whether it was pre-approved or not, also had to get, it's in their agents and them have to look at it. They have to send it to them and they have to get some kind of sign. So when they don't want to deal with it, they get them all to agree on some initial photos to begin with. And those are
agree
the
on
only
that.
photos they can use, which is why they photoshopped those together. Yeah.
I agree on that. I mean, I don't think that you'd want to be on a poster looking like shit. Like,
But how about
how about
if they use a photo, the actor gets to approve it? How about if if something's drawn by hand, tough titty? How about that? How about we just make that contract? Hollywood solved it for you. Fucking, we're done. Can we stop photoshopping?
I'm all for it, but they don't do it.
Yeah, idiots.
For whatever reason.
Jackasses. Get jackass holes.
You
So they are.
jackass.
You're a bunch of
No, I
jackass
guarantee
holes.
you would not want a picture of yourself being promoted
Oh,
in a way that you don't like.
yeah. But if it's the guy who draws the beautiful Back to the Future Indiana Jones and Star Wars posters, then I don't think we're not gonna have a problem. And if you look dumb in that, maybe you just look dumb. That's what I say.
He actually, Struzan, you're talking about Drew Struzan. Drew
Yeah, talking
Struzan
about
in his
Drew.
book, The Art of Drew Struzan, goes over the Hook poster.
Uh-huh.
And he was like getting approval from Dustin Hoffman. It was a fucking pain in the ass. He had to draw that thing
Yeah.
like a few times, man. It wasn't easy then. It's
Yeah.
even they just don't want to deal with it now. They would just marketing's, they just want those materials done out the door. They don't really want to labor over it anymore, which is a shame because again, like it's one of those things that takes away from movies being special as opposed to a DVD, cover, a TV show thing,
But it's like at some point, some bean counter at Disney needs to go, wow, look how much money this one art design has made us over the history of 45
I know.
fucking years. Maybe other posters can do this too.
I have literally
Oh.
made that argument in a room
Yeah.
on a phone with Lucasfilm.
Oh, I know you have.
and I was
know you
given the look, shut up. You're not here. I know I'm not here for this, but who fucking cares? Like give us some artwork and we could sell it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
The actor's
of
like, who's
post-
this? Who's this? Oh, it's you. Oh, that's me? Oh, okay. Doesn't look
Speaking
like
of
me.
posters, though, like every Moon Knight poster has been amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but every Moon Knight poster for Disney Plus has been 100, like just top notch. Top
Yeah.
notch.
I hate to
all the
tell you
Marvel
this.
posters, the ones straight from Marvel as of the past year or so have been they've definitely changed whatever their mentality. If it could be the same people, it's just whatever mindset was behind it. I assume the person in charge of marketing has switched in the last year or so because it's drastic difference between Doctor Strange 2, the Loki stuff, all these things. Even the posters for Hawkeye, which had their own vibe and Christmas feel, way different between that and versus. Remember when Marvel had like a one-all poster thing? Hey, it's big photo head, fucking Iron Man style, right? All the way through to almost Infinity War, yeah.
You guys think we'll get another Kenobi poster? Like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, with all the talk of that says teaser, that says teaser trailer. Will we get which implies to them a theatrical trailer, which there's not going to be one, but another trailer. Would they do another poster for?
Well, we're
Kenobi?
definitely going to get character posters. So we're going to
Yeah,
get
those kind of suck to me.
They sucked for Boba
I
Fett.
don't like-
But the Mando season
I
2
don't
got pretty cool. I hated the Boba Fett ones with the same sand background. I hated that. But we're
Like,
definitely
like that one guy with the tentacles, like he got a poster, like
I didn't have
know.
a problem. Well, I didn't have a problem with Boba Fett like you guys do.
yeah.
But
Yeah, just those character posters though, they're just kind of like Photoshop garbage. Just give me a picture of the people.
yeah.
I would just take a good picture of the people,
I think if there was
Yes.
any way during production they
Glamour
could just
shots.
have someone like Leibowitz, like someone like that could photograph the shit out of him in a really artistic way and have it done. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a bone to pick with her for another reason.
Uh oh.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight Annie
Leibowitz?
Leibovitz?
Yeah.
We're gonna start that here right now on the show.
No.
That'd be cool.
Wow.
The Vanity Fair Making Star Wars Wars ready to go.
It actually has something to do with Candy Darling. They interviewed her in a documentary for her.
Uh-huh.
The shit she was saying about her identity, she pissed me off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm just okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her work is great.
Fucking
Just
Yeah.
people just give it. They're saying too much, man. They just shut the fuck up.
she needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, these people. God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Star Wars Lego's gonna say some stupid shit and they're gonna ruin it for me.
Well, I don't pay
right at the
attention to
end.
Star Wars Legos.
These little brick bastards.
Yeah. Well, I was always like when it comes to like I like the photos, but like the Vanity Fair, like that style of magazine and
Actually,
the articles in it is
uh-huh.
it's like I don't really need, Star Wars articles written for my mom. Like I don't really need it, so I don't give a shit if they ever do it again.
when I was in New York, I was in Mayor Paul's apartment building, and I think Annie Leibovitz lived there because I remember walking by or she had an office there or something.
Yeah. You should have knocked and asked her if you could borrow $350. She
Then
hasn't.
Such a only
Then-
murders in the building moment. You know, have you
No.
watched
Now
that
I'd probably
series? How
throw
many
it-
murders in the
Now I'd probably
throw-
throw an egg at her door.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
The
Get it with
new
Silly
Saint Vincent
String.
record has a song about candy. It's really good.
Who?
The newest Saint Vincent record has
Oh,
a
really?
song for candy on it. It's
Awesome.
good. Yeah, it's really good.
Send it
It's
to me.
best one since Lou
Lou
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Candy Says is probably my favorite. Velvet
We need.
Underground
Okay,
song.
so since you wanted me to watch the Greasy Killer, what is it called?
Greasy Strangler,
Yeah,
which
Then-
you loved.
I do love. It's so weird. So you're gonna watch the Kenny Darling documentary with me?
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Yeah. What's it on? Did you know? Is it on anything?
It's
or
on.
we
It's
have
on
to-
YouTube.
It's on the YouTube.com.
Yeah.
That's here.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Talking Sith says Grogu needs a period. Grogu doesn't need his period. Come
No.
on, that's gross.
little green dot?
No, I'm kidding. Oh,
Sorry.
the little green dot.
Sorry.
The little
Sorry.
green dot. He's Grogu fucking comes back next season stacked. He's a woman now. Like, oh shit. All right, Grogu's really growing up and single and ready to mingle. Grogu needs a period where he grows up a very strong jawline. Then it's just a lizard trip. He crawls into Din's mouth. Din starts fucking tripping out.
Do you think that they'll ever make him like later, like kind of like not attractive, but like, ooh, this baby grew up to be
Fucking
Yeah.
Grogu has like a 6-pack, and he's
Like
like,
he's-
"What's up?
He'll get a
Like,
top
What's
knot.
up?"
He'll
Like
have a
he's hot as shit.
samurai haircut. You'll see. He won't have that Yaddle spit curl or won't have the Christopher Reeve hair. He'll have like a samurai.
What if
thing.
he has a little George Lucas cut? What if they
or
give him a little
or
George
he gets the
Lucas
mohawk from Gremlins. He'll get the mohawk,
The
right? The
mohawk from
stripe
Gremlins?
ears. Yeah.
do? You think he might go through like maybe a goatee period?
He's a Mando. He's got to go through a heavy metal period, you know?
Maybe he'll grow a stash like one of those Burt Reynolds ass stashes like Din has.
like, okay, he's a baby, right? Like the most cutest baby in the world, in the universe. Like,
Mhm.
and then you have to like when he's older, like make him kind of cool.
Yeah,
You know,
you would think.
like my
Grows that
mohawk,
soul
he was
patch.
so cute. He's still cute,
Looks
but now
like-
he's a little guy that wants. To,
He's a
you
man
know,
cat now.
He's a man now.
Mohawk's a man cat now.
Mhm.
Mohawk
Grogu
man
gets the
cat.
bowl cut.
Did you know that was his
Grogu
name?
gets a bowl cut. Grogu
No,
gets a bowl cut. You know,
no.
that's we got a book. It's a children's book out of that. You know, we get
Fuck
can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be the
no,
best.
bowl cuts.
Man.
Ears pop right out of it. You know.
He would look like a fucking monk.
Yeah,
if he
you
had, like,
can't
a
see his
bald-
eyes. It covers his eyes and shit. So it looks like he's like Kanan. He's like the blind warrior,
Oh,
right?
and when
But
you,
it's just
when
a
you can't
bowl
see his
cut.
eyes, they're like super red,
Yeah.
like he's stoned. He's like,
Yeah.
the fucking
And then in the
bowl
dark,
cut.
they just glow through the hair, and the hair flies up, right? And it's great.
Oh God.
James says, "Damn, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are so bad. Chris O'Donnell, I thought, was the only good bits about them."
You know what, guys? I liked that movie. I'm an
I
asshole.
like
huh?
Batman Forever. I like Batman
Yes.
Forever. Batman and Robin's not so good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, but
It-
you bitch, you like Boba Fett, so
It needs more grease. That's what I say.
Uma
Needs more
Thurman's
grease.
good casting. It's just a bad movie.
yeah.
Oh, sure. The
Bad
people in it
movie.
are fine. I mean,
Bad movie.
I remember when I heard Clueless, who at the time was like super popular and like hot as fuck. If when you're like a 16-year-old boy, you're like, oh, she's Catwoman, fuck yeah, or whatever that one that she was in. You see, it's like, what the fuck is this dog shit? What's
Well, I was
going
at
on
the. I
here?
told you I was at the concept art like reveal for that movie the year before it came out at Comic Con up in this room, and when they were like Schwarzenegger and they're showing us the concept art for Freeze, and then they go, yeah, and Bane's in it, and one guy goes, "You got Bane in this movie and Schwarzenegger's playing Mr. Freeze. What the fuck?" It was this disconnect, Even then, it's like that makes no sense. You got Bane is in the movie, but Schwarzenegger's playing the scientist
Freeze.
who lost his wife. Like this don't make no fucking. What are you
I think I still have the McDonald's cups from that movie.
Yes.
I had
Classic.
yeah, the
I do
cup
like the logo for
glasses.
Batman and Robin, the red logo where it's got the two logos in front of them. That's the
wait,
best
she
part of
was-
the film is.
I
great
forgot
logo.
she was. I forgot Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl.
Yeah.
Uncle Alfred. She calls him Uncle Alfred.
Okay.
Unca? What the fuck is that?
Uncle Alfred. She doesn't syllableize properly, so she kind of
Okay.
lisps. Uncle Alfred. And I was like,
Stupid.
and then he gives his niece a suit with stilettos and nipples and a big butt crack, and I'm like, all right, okay, Alfred.
Look,
Yes,
he's
sir.
like, I'm not really your uncle, right?
He knows those measurements. Good uncle.
try.
Ruining.
Well,
Ruining the whole movie.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could drive over to Drew Struzan's house and drop off some weed and some colored pencils. Just be like, hey, maybe come out of retirement, just for this Indiana Jones movie. Just for a little while.
you're like draw some.
I
Grogu.
agree. I know he was retired, so that the Force Awakens thing he did was more like his own deal,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's up for doing the tight rendering that the week long. I suspect that you're getting the day version now when he does something for Mondo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those posters are like it's a full week of rendering and airbrushing. I don't think he's going through the whole process anymore.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question, Rob. Don't get mad at me. Who did the artwork for the original Star Wars? The very first.
The very first one?
Yeah.
Well,
in 77.
there was the Hildebrand brothers, the
Hildebrand brothers.
Hildebrands. Yeah.
Okay, that original trilogy. Who did that?
Well,
yeah.
There was Hildebrand, and the second one was a photo. It was the Vader, and then there was that painted one. Who did that? It wasn't Bill. I can't remember the name of that artist. I'm not familiar. The Gone with the Wind poster is what you're talking about.
So Drew Struzan
and
started.
He did the
prequels, right?
No, he did the teaser poster for Revenge of the Jedi. So that Revenge of the Jedi poster? It's all in red with the silhouette of Luke fighting Vader.
Yeah.
They got like opposite colored lightsabers for some reason. But he did that. And then he did the 10th anniversary poster. He did that it looks like a cereal, looks like it's ripped up kind of thing. Like that poster, it's all ripped up and shit. Like, and he did that with a friend. It's kind of done in a line decker style. You wouldn't recognize it as his style because he was doing this kind. He did a lot of these like musical album covers in the 70s, like Alice Cooper, and he had this line decker.
Alice Cooper and Chains.
Yeah, I know. But by the 10th anniversary, by around the mid 80s, he's into the color pencil, the look that you sort of associate him with. And
he did all of the special edition posters, all the prequel posters.
Yeah.
And then he did did the Indiana Jones
books.
Most of the Indiana Jones books, some of the Indiana Jones stuff that like the Last Crusade poster.
Well, his first poster was he did the European version for Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that was his first real work. And that was the key poster for the European market. And so then he does the poster for Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and that's kind of where you see his real style kind of come through. The one you associate him with is on that.
Or the
Back to the Future poster.
The Back to the Future one where Marty and Doc are like stepping out of the DeLorean, looking at their watches, like in front of the car.
Yeah,
and there's like all three of them with like the same kind of like thing. He did all of those too.
You know what's funny as a
Marty
kid?
pose? Sorry, that Marty pose is his body. That's Struzan's. The head is Michael J. Fox, but the body, the pants, the pose is Drew Struzan posing. Yeah.
And that's true in the movie too.
Yeah.
Wearing his face.
The funny thing for me is like when I was a kid looking at posters for movies, I always thought it was from a scene in the movie. So I was looking for that picture and I was so confused. I'm like, that's not in the movie. Even like Empire Strikes Back, seeing Leia like laying, it looked like she was laying down, right? I think, and Han Solo was kissing her, or
the Gone with the Wind.
The Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
where he's like,
and she was wearing black, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see her wearing black. She's wearing white. It confused the shit out of me as a kid. I was looking for it.
Yeah. So who's the best Alfred?
Gotta be Michael Caine. It's Michael Caine.
I can't say because I don't watch all the last Batman movie that I saw was the guy that played American Psycho.
Yeah.
I don't watch these movies.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, Rob. I know Rob has an opinion on this. Rob, he's thought about this, right? Rob,
Well,
Robbie,
Rob,
Roberto.
He's
who's your
one.
favorite Catwoman then?
Well, my man,
Marcus, darling.
that new Catwoman's pretty good.
Zoe
New
Kravitz.
Catwoman, new Catwoman is pretty good. See, the problem is Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is pretty fucking rad,
I love that one.
but it's not a perfect movie. Is like kind of the problem. So it ends up with stuff where you're just like, okay, I guess as a kid you're just like, I'll go with it, you know. But like,
Madonna was asked to play Catwoman for that one.
yeah.
I would have liked to. I think she would have done an awesome job.
But was she doing Dick Tracy?
She did Dick
instead?
Tracy instead.
Yeah. That was a
Drinks
good
you'll
movie.
make cook.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the best? Who's the best Alfred? Rob?
Who's the best Alfred?
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're all good. There's never been a bad Alfred.
I like the
Sure.
Alfred from the 90s. Michael Keaton.
Michael Goff.
Yeah,
Goff.
yeah. The original Alfred to me feels
and
like
from the TV show.
Yeah, he was
1960s one.
cool. He was pretty funny. But
He looked like the TV show, the 60s Alfred. You know
Mhm.
that teacher I had in high school I told you about, my culinary teacher, Mr. Yackey, the one who showed me the artwork that was hidden?
yeah.
He looked like him, 100%.
Okay.
Like, that, just give him the rim glasses, that's him. Like, same. And I go, you know, you look like, he's like, I get that. He always had a smile on his face, always in a good mood. Yeah.
I did like that Diet Coke commercial he did as Alfred for that Batman movie, the first one. It's pretty good.
Michael
Yeah.
Goff with the little bat cape flowing on the
R.I.P.,
Coke can.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
I think Goff was kind of on the older side, like really old. So it was just like he didn't have enough pep in his step sometimes. You know, he always felt like he was just about to die, but he was good. They were all good. Yeah.
I like that Alfred comic book story that was in like one of the, probably like Batman 400s ish maybe, and it was like Alfred's like Secret Service past, and you learn that he was like this like agent, this like James Bond agent before he went to work for the Waynes and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Which is what they're leaning on in the movie, and then there's that TV series, but it's not my thing. But yeah, so like they get into it in the book. There's a 2-hour-long audio novel you can listen to. It's supposed to tie into the Batman, and that's where it's that Alfred is the one who taught Bruce Wayne how to fight in the movie, the current movie. He didn't go around the world and learn from ninjas. He learned from Alfred, and it's this mixture of like jujitsu, taekwondo, karate, all this other stuff. And then like Bruce kind of rolled it into his own style, and they called it Bruce Jitsu in the book.
Yeah.
Bruce Jitsu.
I like. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Max.
No, I don't know if they do it. Do they have very many tie-in food promotions anymore for movies? And...
Denny's.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I liked Denny's. I did.
They're all afraid of being told Sebulba made kids fat in some ways. So I think they kind of shy away from it a little bit more than they used to. Unless they
What,
could
like the McDonald's thing?
well, like the McDonald's thing, they have an out in that you can kind of almost
Buy
make a healthier Happy Meal by
Yeah.
picking water instead of soda, apples instead of fry. Like you could have something that isn't completely awful. Still
I was
pretty
actually
awful, but-
surprised that Rise of Skywalker had McDonald's.
Yeah,
'Cause,
it was forgettable though. It was like all stupid shit too. Like none of it was.
I
they
bought
didn't
like
make
a
anything
couple of
good.
them.
Me too.
Just because I have nothing of the Rise of Skywalker.
I wish they'd get some balls and get a deal with like Clerks 3 or Jane Silent Bob 2, one of
Or
those
Orange-
things for a Taco Bell or for
Orange Julius.
Tim Hortons. Yeah, Orange Julius. Orange Julius. Like I think some of these other movies would do well with those campaigns, and I think it would be good business for like a Taco Bell to tie it into something more. What was a good kind of dumb comedy that came? I mean, like even Free Guy would have done well. Like something like that would have done well with some kind of.
There's
fun
still
type
to this
fast
day
food
something about me as an adult going to order a Happy Meal and getting the little toy and like, I don't know, just for a moment, like this
Yes,
is
those
cool.
those Happy Meal toys are the best.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like Mario Kart ones
And
right now.
and even the cereal, like, where you dump all the cereal out and then you go and get the toy. Like, I
Mhm.
wish they would do that.
Well, my top three promotions at fast food would be probably the first one would be, I know what the second one. The second one is Wendy's in 1995 or 6 did a Micro Machines one. Remember that? Like,
Mm.
of all places, Wendy's. And I even though I was in high school, I was like, fuck, I gotta get these. They were great Micro Machine sets. They were really good. Like these things linked up and shit. I was like, and I'm in there as a high school. I'm like, yeah, I want all of them. Just give me all these fucking things. That was fantastic. The Ghostbusters one in the 80s was my favorite. The Ghostbusters cartoon had a McDonald's where you can get like this little pencil topper with the firehouse with the Slimer that would
Yeah.
fly around it. And yeah, that was and the Batman. Man, it's as much as I love Batman Returns, I think the Batman Forever Frosted mugs are still the better cups.
Those are the
Those were
ones I
cool.
still
Classic
have.
ones.
I still
Yeah.
have a couple.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
You can't top that. That's
They
the
were
best.
cool.
That's probably my favorite. Yeah.
Fast food
Yeah.
tie-in, yeah.
I know Star Wars kind of missed like the golden age of the serial tie-ins too. Like C3POs was kind of like the there was like Pac-Man cereal and C3POs. There was like whatever. They wasn't really like that good, but like
It was like
Ghostbusters,
Kix.
and Batman had fucking good cereal, and like it was fun, and like the Batman box had like eventually had like a
Turtles,
Batman
too.
bank saran wrap to it and shit. And the
Nice.
Ghostbuster cereal was good. Made me fat as a kid. It was so good though. And Star
Well, the
Wars never-
Ghostbusters, I believe, I might just be remembering this right, but I think when the cartoon was out, because the first Ghostbusters cereal had the movie logo on it, but I think at some point you could turn the box into the firehouse. Like they put a
Oh, really?
graphic on there, so you could like make a little firehouse out of the box. And I was like, this is genius, because at least
Yeah.
that's what I turned all those Ghostbusters boxes into little firehouses. Put my toys in there and shit. You know, it was great.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
They
I
used to
would've
make
done
it fun to eat food.
Yeah, they
did.
did. Oh yeah, James is cracking me up because talking about Drew's Dreamscape poster was like Indiana Jones, but the movie wasn't. And it's like Drew Struzan did like Police Academy posters too, and you see them and you're like, that's pretty good art, but you're like, it's still Police Academy at the end of the day.
Well,
I don't know. I kind of like
probably
Police
my
Academy,
favorite.
but
The poster he did that I think is the fucking amazing for the movie that doesn't fucking deserve it. It's Masters of the Universe.
yeah,
His Masters of the Universe poster is fucking phenomenal, and you're just like, but see, that's where a guy can, like, any artist, male, whatever, they can fucking elevate some stupid shit to unseen levels with the right kind of illustration. Like
I still watch Masters of the Universe when I see that poster, and then I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good this time.
Oh,
When
real
I watch
quick.
it, I'm like, oh.
Speaking of food promotion, so this is my Subway, The Force Awakens.
That's
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Like, that was healthy. Like, that was my first time actually going to eat
health.
Subway just to get
Something
the
from
Star Wars
Subway?
stuff. Yeah, and actually I became friends with the girl that worked there, so she gave me the posters, like all the stuff that they had, that they gave the stores. Same thing with Denny's. Like, me and Michael would go frequently, like before I went to Turkey and then after.
Mhm.
And I made friends with the waitress, and so she was giving me all the in-store promotional stuff for Solo.
Yeah.
She gave me a menu and like all that shit, so it was fun.
When I went to that Denny's thing at the El Capitan,
Mhm.
they gave us the menu. So I had one. I probably don't have it anymore.
Mhm.
But yeah.
And just to give like
Sorry, Max.
just real quick. So when I was really like depressed, like I was sleeping for like 3 days in a row, and I turned on YouTube and I saw somebody had posted a video about Denny's promotion for Solo, and all of a sudden I kind of like, oh. So then I look and then I see the commercial and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And it like pulled me out of my shithole for a second, you know what I mean? And then I asked Michael, I said, can we go to Denny's? It's shit like that I love about Star Wars. It can pull you out of a little funk,
Yeah.
a little big
Batman
funk.
got the little Caesars, huh?
Is, I
Inside.
gotta ask, is Denny's like an upgraded McDonald's, or is it like?
Oh, it's like an IHOP. Do y'all have IHOP? It's a like a
It's a breakfast place, really.
yeah, it's a breakfast diner.
Oh, it's not
thing.
open like after 12 or something. No.
Yeah, it's
But
supposed to
they
be
sell, like-
24 hours.
Yeah, they
Supposed
sell-
to be.
They sell breakfast stuff and
and
It's
now,
trucker food.
yeah, now it's overpriced trucker food. That's what it is now.
actually,
It's the most expensive gastro pub you've ever seen.
No,
With
it's
the
not.
quality is fucking dog shit. You know,
only
Like,
when you
but-
only when you DoorDash is at $30.
Do they only have
But-
breakfast? Or like fries and all that shit.
Yeah.
oh, they got burgers and all that.
They have
stuff. It's
pancakes and
diner food.
breakfast. I ate that last night.
Yeah, but you can get a Grand Slam. Last I remember, before COVID, for like $5-6, like if you know, which is like their oldest thing on the menu. So you get
In
2
California?
eggs.
If I
about
take my kids to that place, we leave. It's $50 for breakfast.
Uh-uh. Really?
It's fucking
Yeah,
bullshit.
There's just no
yeah.
point.
Yeah,
there's
we
just
have
no point.
norms. We have like this. What's called norms. You go to norms. I'm out for like $25, $30. Yeah, it's completely. I'm guessing paying those for those promotions is up in the prices. At least in California. I don't know if it's cheaper
Yeah.
outside.
I imagine. Well, yeah, it's probably like $20 just for a full meal.
Yeah,
Like $15 to $20.
And they don't have
It's-
chili cheese spaghetti.
It's still
You
cheap.
know?
It's still cheap.
only the
here.
big boy.
Pieces.
Only the big boy.
And-
Piece of spaghetti.
I did eat. They had the ghost pepper burger, I think, for Solo.
yeah,
That shit was hot too. We
Yeah.
had that conversation.
the ghost pepper burger.
Or
The-
something with a G. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go
The
ahead.
Talking Sis says, I like Jeremy Irons, but I can't. But if I can imagine Alfred, it's Michael Gough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like
The
like,
fact that they didn't keep, they should have kept Irons. He's
Yeah.
literally the animated series Batman, and he's got so many years on him to go. Like, Circus is fun, but Irons has that. He'll make you feel stupid. You know,
is Jeremy Irons
Circus
still alive?
isn't-
Yeah.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah. He was
Why-
the
why
Alpha in
isn't
the
he-
last.
Why isn't he in Star Wars? What's
he
he
should
doing?
That's a good
Yeah.
fucking question.
Is he
Just
Thrawn?
wait.
Is he Thrawn? Is that a new scoop?
There's still time. There's still time.
James says Masters of the Universe is awesome. I wish the movie stayed on Eternia though. That's exactly like they just like leave Eternia because they didn't want to spend money to make Eternia, and I
Hey.
don't understand why they didn't do that.
Wasn't Christopher Lloyd already in Star Wars? Like he did the voice for Admiral Akbar.
I played a Klingon.
Mm-mm.
Star Trek
did-
3.
It's a trap, Marty.
Yeah, who did that?
No, was it Tim Rose who was Akbar,
Hmm.
or was that just the puppeteer? I can't remember now.
Someone lied to me then.
But yeah, no, it wasn't Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd. No,
Hmm.
he's Doc Brown. It's all he's ever been. It's all he'll ever be until I see him in Star Wars one time.
Crusty old white guy.
The old white guy. Maybe he's
Did you
crusty
say
old white guy.
crusty?
Yeah.
That's how they were described to me. Crusty old white guy.
It's a
Talking
skin
Sid-
condition.
It's for the Lego. Talking Sid says, just as Rob said, Ghostbusters. I look and see a Ghostbusters truck. What? What? You live in a town where there's a real Ghostbusters? The Ghostbusters truck just driving by, busting ghosts because it makes him feel good.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Talking Sid says, sent you a picture. He said, love that they have chapters everywhere. Wait. All right, I don't see it yet.
That was your
Must be
vibrator going on.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, is that what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I don't have it yet. I do not have it yet. But oh yeah, there was this. I think James might have sent this to me first, and it was it's Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and Papas, and it's just part of this article, and it says Harrison Ford before he was a movie star, says Phillips, quote, I didn't even know Harrison was an actor. I remember getting dragged to Star Wars at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning by my stepbrother, who's done some animation for the movie. I was sitting there watching the screen, and all of a sudden Harrison Ford comes on, and I gasped and said, "That's my pot dealer."
James sent that to me yesterday.
Was it James? It was James, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So Harrison
LOL'd.
Ford was Mama's and Papa's pot dealer, and they went to see Star Wars, and they were like, "What the fuck? Are we dealers to Han Solo?" That's
What
pretty
the
rad,
fuck?
though. My weed dealer just wanted to play Nintendo and watch TV all day and wouldn't let me leave. And back then, when you had to have a weed dealer, Luke says Jeremy Irons made a twat of himself on UK TV, claiming gay people shouldn't get married and claiming fathers and sons will be marrying one another for tax breaks if they allowed it. Well,
Fuck
that
Jamie
sounds
Irons.
that sounds
He
accurate.
apologized for that in 2013. Like that's a. I'm not defending him in any
Yes,
way,
you're
shape, or
you're
form.
defending
But
him.
Mhm. You are.
Max,
You're defending him.
I'm the only one in my school who shed a me and a girl shared a tear for Freddie Mercury. All right.
When did he say this?
This is 2013, 2012, around there. This
Before
was
he
like
was
10
educated?
years ago.
So he said it in 2013, and then he apologized in 2013.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
just asking if this
stupid.
is something he said in 1979, and then they're like bringing it up.
It was about tax incentive. It was some stupid fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't look. It's tough because like these fucking idiots grow up thinking a certain way. They're like got 20 years on us, you know. And it was like I just remember I was super liberal coming out the military. I was supporting the war in Iraq. Are you going to cancel me now? I fucking immediately regretted that about it less than a year in. You know what I mean? I don't support any fucking war, but I got brainwashed too. So it's hard to say. He was in The Watchmen? I gotta imagine if he still felt that way, he wouldn't have been a part of that fucking.
Well,
series.
in all honesty, like that comment, like is an eye roll to me. I don't really give a shit what he.
Right.
I mean,
But I'm not gonna
okay.
sit here and like the dude. I know it's just like, is he who we're fighting? Is he out there? I mean, like literally,
I think
Putin's
I could-
government's
I think I could-
locking up people.
I think I
for
could probably
being gay.
beat Jeremy Irons in a fight. I feel like I could.
I don't think so, man. Like
You don't
he's
think so?
He was
You
in
think
better
me?
shape than Ben Affleck in them Batman movies. Like
Oh, do you have to be in shape to fight at all? Okay,
You know who I want to
no,
see
never
fight?
mind.
Is I want to see Jeremy Irons and who's the guy? J.K. Simmons, because he played Commissioner Gordon in that movie too, right? I want to see those two. Those two spar at it.
Yeah, they brought him back though. He's in that.
Batgirl. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think we did it, ladies and gentlemen. I think we made it happen. I think we did a show. We talked about some scoops. We talked about some Batman. We talked about some Jeremy Irons fucking up.
Got some bowl cuts.
We got bowl cuts in there. We got Quentin Lee showing up, saying hi. How's it going, Quentin? Don't need no muscles to knock someone silly.
Yeah, just a bat.
just a bat or maybe a well placed bottle. Luke says from memory, it was about marriage laws changing the UK for civil partnerships. I'm not canceling. I think he just showed himself up, similar to Liam Neeson in his black guy comments. Oh yeah, Liam Neeson, Jesus,
Real stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid
Who cares?
shit.
yeah, people say stupid shit sometimes, but I think what's more important is where do you think their heart actually is, more than a gotcha saying something stupid. Do you think he really like is his heart really that or not? Sometimes it's both.
Well, look,
Sometimes
his
it's
original
both.
last name was zinc, but he thought that was a weak ass mineral, so he changed to iron. So,
Yeah.
Why not magnesium?
he's got insecurity. Yeah, he's got insecurity issues.
Can we all agree that ironing is a little gay? Though ironing clothes is a little gay, so you can't be that bad.
I gotta
I'm just-
tell you, as a kid, I was definitely taken with was it Richard Taylor on that music video when he played I want to be free, right?
I want to break
Roger
free,
Taylor,
freak ass
yeah,
Queen fan.
break free. Yeah, Roger Taylor, man, blew my mind. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Roger is
Sir.
pretty cute in that, isn't he?
He
know?
really
Yeah.
super cute.
Yeah. You could probably see past it. I'd be like, you were.
And every time I vacuum, I'd put on that song. That was my favorite. Pissed my dad off to no end.
Yeah,
Reagan
I see
era
that.
guy.
Reagan era dads were like, no. They banned that video here. I mean, they were really mad about it. Star Wars
Yeah, well, I had the
is
record.
still debugging code. Thanks for having a great show today. Been
What
working on a
code?
code much better.
What code?
The bro code.
Star Wars Santa is part of Anonymous.
Oh no!
We're dealing with Putin.
He's taking him down. He's taking him down.
To jump around.
He
Jump
doesn't
around.
have a snowball's chance in hell.
The Star Wars Santa says crisscross make you jump.
Mac down and
Quin-
make it jump.
Quentin
Make it,
Lee
make it,
says,
make it.
They
Yeah.
never did a McDonald's tie-in with that song, did they? The Big Mac will make you. Like,
Oh.
God, what a missed opportunity that was, huh?
You know that either Chris or Cross died.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only
Biggity,
one.
biggity Mac. That would have
Yes.
been the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Billion
Remember
sold.
when Hammer did the Taco Bell commercial?
Yeah, kind of, not really.
Yeah, he did a Taco Bell commercial.
I did this earlier.
Too legit to quit. Hey. All right.
That's actually
I did it earlier.
Grogu's first words. He's
I did it.
that little sign with his claw.
I did that earlier. You were looking down, I think.
I think
Yeah.
Too Legit to Quit is the new saying of Mandalore when he was Mandalore. It's not this is the way. Like that's kind of played out. Let's
Yeah.
change it.
Too legit.
But-
I wrote it in 1987 in a Trapper Keeper, and they've kept it. So they're going to be doing that season
The Trapper
3.
Keeper. Did y'all ever get to use the Trapper Keeper? Because usually at public schools they had specifically what you. Oh, cute! There's my car. There's my Lyft car.
Border Patrol's really going crazy these days. They got too much money. You know, too much money.
Border Patrol.
Yeah.
No, so like
they're just ruining everything.
no, so
Sir,
like,
we are ghosts. Leave us alone. And they're like, "Don't we? Well, we're gonna have to make some Ghostbusters here because these guys are saying they're ghosts." I don't know what to do.
Rob, did you get to use your Trapper Keeper?
I don't know.
My father wouldn't pay for it,
Well, the
so
thing,
he would just he would just give me shitty office supplies
Peaches?
from work.
so they
Did you
gave
get
you like a
Peachy
list
folder
of.
with the guy shooting the ball.
Mm,
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Max.
I don't know.
Peaches.
There were some things that the school wouldn't let you have because they specifically had a list of school supplies that you had to have.
Like
And
guns,
You
bullets.
could, yeah, and you couldn't have Trapper Keepers
Oh, you can have.
or
Really? You could have Trapper Keepers?
yeah, or the
He
pin
just had
only
kittens
thing-
on it, and the kitten said, "Have a great day."
or the
like, why would they
pin
be?
that erases.
Max was in Texas, Jason. You know,
Oh.
What the fuck does that mean? Just
ask your
kidding.
governor and then get back to me on that one. But
I mean,
Well,
all I know
I'm in
is
Idaho,
that-
so I
yeah,
know.
The governor that we have
Yeah.
now was not who we had back then. So
Yeah,
Right.
but those Trapper Keepers
But-
made me have several abortions. So
The only thing we weren't allowed to have in elementary school was Jolly Ranchers. So some kid had one in his mouth and decided to run out in the backfield and then fell and died. Like
What,
the
Jolly
kid,
Rancher?
Macaulay Culkin right out in the back from choking on a
What did he
Jolly.
do?
No
What
one,
did he do? He
no one
ran-
knew CP. No one knew that Heimlich maneuver. This is like '86. No one had the Heimlich maneuver down back then, so the kid just went out there and died.
Hmm.
But how did he? What did he do? Just choke.
He was
on
running. They were playing like flag football, you know, kind of thing, like running around back there. But he had a
Yeah.
jolly. He was on and he fell down and choked on it. And that day, I just happened to be playing with GoBots, so I wasn't looking when it happened. But, yeah.
That's scary. Man.
Everyone ran, and when everyone runs, I always think there's a shark attack because I saw Jaws as a kid, so I ran the other way. It's in the middle of the dirt, but I just assumed there's some violent thing, and
it's
I
a
just
shark.
run the other
Land
direction.
Shark.
Yeah, yeah.
Great band called Fang, punk band, Land Shark. Check it out. Also, the
True story. I ran the other way. I'm like, I never run toward the shit everyone's running to. I go the other direction.
So basically, you're the opposite of Bruce Wayne in Batman vs Superman. At the start of the movie. He's running.
Yeah, I'm
in.
the guy who survives.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
leaves the opposite way.
I get the fuck out.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you."
Well, I think we came to a consensus today,
Sorry.
and that consensus,
I like spaceships.
Mm,
like
yeah,
spaceships.
it's true.
I don't know if it,
and I
it looks
cannot
like it kind
lie.
of played weird,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, we'll be
Spaceships.
back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking about the old Star War and any of the news of the
Great.
day. Yeah, thanks everyone
wait.
for who was a channel member. Thank you, George, for joining us and hanging out.
Well, you know,
Max,
it
the
was.
Hootie
I'm
Chitty
gonna
Disco
cook
Cutie.
some Mongolian barbecue in a minute. So whatever.
Sprazy the 10th, the Mongolian emperor, Mongolian barbecue emperor.
With a bowl
And-
haircut.
Yeah. And the guy who drank too many Orange Julius's and has apparently passed away is now a Force ghost, and the Ghostbusters are going to have to come take him back to the border in San Diego.
He has
by
a
the end of
Hispanic
this.
last name. They'll get him. You know, it's
No,
a
they're gonna
twofer,
get
that
you.
one. He's definitely
They go-
going back.
The Ghostbusters are coming for you.
And I'm like, I'm adopted. Like, now he's on your birth certificate. You're definitely no. Like, that's how it worked out. You know,
But,
they changed my birth certificate when I got adopted, which that's why when they were making a big deal about Obama's birth certificate, I'm like, this doesn't mean anything. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when I was adopted, they changed mine to dated all the way back. You know, like it just It's not the case, but whatever.
Well, also, if he was a Kenyan spy, they would have just faked it. They would have just had a really good fake, and they would have never caught it because
Yeah.
who could? Anyways,
Say he's a scroll.
yeah, a ninja scroll.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.